I think nobody's safe in the league, but I think he's going to do a good job. I think he's the player for the big scene, even though I thought in Dallas he had something special going.
You know, innocent kid, same time, he's ultra talented, whole world's in front of him. You want to protect people like that too, because I feel like sometimes people come at him crazy, you know, which is unnecessary. You know, and he responds in his own way, but he's not from America. He's not used to the degenerative culture here.
It's kind of a pit of poison when you have two, brainiacs when it comes to the game of basketball on the floor at the same time.
Imagine a player so gifted, so electrifying, that even the greatest of all time can't help but stop and watch. A player who, at just 26 years old, is already redefining what it means to be an NBA superstar. Enter Luka Dončić. Since bursting onto the scene in 2018, Luka has defied logic, burying defenders with step-back threes, dishing out no-look passes straight out of a video game, and delivering clutch performances that leave even NBA veterans shaking their heads in disbelief. But here's when you know you've truly arrived. When LeBron James, a player in the GOAT conversation, starts singing your praises. LeBron doesn't just respect Luka's game, he celebrates it. And when the king himself acknowledges your greatness, the entire basketball world takes notice that so what do the NBA's biggest stars really think of Luka Dončić? Let's start with LeBron James, because when a guy who has played alongside legends like Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis talks about you, his words matter. And after witnessing yet another Luka masterclass, here's what the king had to say.
It's the Luka that we all accustomed and have been watching over the last 7 years. You know, especially you get that left side of the floor step back going. Pretty damn dangerous and big time game.
LeBron James knows exactly what it takes to take over a game. He's built his legacy on clutch performances. So when he highlights Luka Dončić step-back three, he's talking about one of the most unstoppable signature moves in today's NBA. Luka doesn't rely on explosive speed or jaw-dropping athleticism. Instead, he breaks down defenders with footwork, patience, and elite shot-making. The moment he shifts to his left, defenders know what's coming. But stopping it? That's a whole different challenge time and time again. That move has buried teams in crunch time. And if LeBron, who has battled some of the greatest shot makers in history, calls Luka's game pretty damn dangerous, you know it's real. But LeBron's admiration for Luka goes beyond just his ability to close out games. He sees something bigger. Luka isn't just delivering great performances, he's a generational talent. And in another interview, LeBron made it clear what it truly means to have a player like Luka on your team.
Just the excitement of being able to add a caliber player like that, a generational talent like that to our franchise, it's something that's given me energy, and and I'm looking forward to.
That's LeBron James, a four-time champion and one of the most accomplished players in NBA history, saying that Luka Dončić is giving him energy. That tells you everything. Luka isn't just another great player. He's the kind of superstar who shifts the balance of power in the league, the kind of talent franchises dream of building around. And when even LeBron James is excited to play alongside you, you know you're special. Their on-court chemistry has been so seamless that it's even drawn comparisons to an elite quarterback-wide receiver duo. And LeBron? He's the first to make that connection crystal clear.
I'm a natural-born wide receiver, and he's a natural-born quarterback, so it fits perfectly. You know, I've been running the floor and running lanes pretty much my whole life, and he's been throwing great passes pretty much his whole life. So it's not hard to get a rhythm when it comes to that. You know, it's all about eye contact and him being a great quarterback like he is, and me being the recipient of it.
So think about that for a second. LeBron James, one of the greatest players in NBA history, is calling Luka Dončić the quarterback. That speaks volumes about just how elite Luka's vision is. He doesn't just spot the first passing option, he sees the entire play unfold before it even happens. His ability to thread the needle and deliver pinpoint passes makes him one of the most gifted playmakers the game has ever seen. Now, pair that with LeBron's ability to run the floor, finish at the rim, and read defenses, it's an absolute nightmare for opponents. For LeBron, playing alongside Luka just makes sense. He doesn't have to work as hard for easy buckets anymore. When a player like Luka is running the offense, all you need to do is make eye contact, run your lane, and trust that the ball will be exactly where it needs to be. That's why LeBron describes their chemistry as effortless. But LeBron isn't the only elite player who sees Luka's greatness. Draymond Green has built a career on defensive intensity, elite basketball IQ, and making life miserable for the league's best players. He's gone to battle with LeBron in the finals, locked down top scorers, and anchored one of the best defensive teams in NBA history. So when Draymond Green speaks about a player with respect, you know they're special. And when it comes to Luka Dončić, Green isn't just acknowledging his talent, he's embracing the challenge.
Always fun competing against Luka when you get the opportunity to play with the greats, or play against the greats. You know, you always want to see how you stack up, what you can do to stop them. So it's always fun competing against guys like Luka.
Coming from one of the greatest offenders of this generation, that's a massive statement. Draymond Green isn't the type to hand out empty praise. If he respects your game, you've earned it, and that's exactly what makes Luka Dončić so unique. Draymond lives for the chess match, the battle to figure out what works, what doesn't, and how to stop a player who seemingly has no weaknesses. But here's the truth. Even one of the smartest offenders in NBA history has struggled to find an answer for Luka. Try to get physical, he absorbs contact and still finishes. Double team him, he picks your defense apart with pinpoint passing. Take away his left hand, he'll find another way to beat you. That's why Draymond sees Luka as the ultimate test, because great defenders want to measure themselves against the best, and right now, Luka is already one of the best. But Draymond isn't the only one who sees something special. Kyrie Irving isn't just Luka's teammate. He's one of the few players in the league who truly understands the weight of superstardom at a young age. He's felt the pressure, he's lived under the spotlight, and he knows that fame can be as brutal as it is rewarding. That's why when Kyrie talks about Luka, his words go beyond basketball.
You know, innocent kid, same time, just ultra talented, whole world's in front of him. You want to protect people like that too, because I feel like sometimes people come at crazy, which is unnecessary. My goal is just to protect him, man. And that's why I go deeper in battle.
That's not just praise. That's Kyrie stepping up as a veteran, a leader, and someone who truly understands Luka's journey. Their relationship isn't just about basketball chemistry. It's about understanding. Kyrie sees Luka as more than a generational talent. He sees a person behind a superstar, a young player still growing, still learning, and still navigating the pressures that come with greatness. And that's exactly why Kyrie is willing to defend him, support him, and make sure he doesn't have to carry this weight alone. Because Kyrie has been there before. He was a number 1 overall pick as a teenager. He won an NBA championship alongside LeBron, and has faced the highest expectations imaginable. And now, he's making sure Luka doesn't have to face those challenges alone. That's why Kyrie says it goes deeper than basketball, because what Luka is doing right now is bigger than just points, assists, and highlights. It's about carrying the weight of greatness, and Kyrie is making sure he doesn't have to do it alone. But when Nikola Jokic speaks about Luka Dončić, that carries a different kind of weight. This isn't just 2 NBA superstars praising each other. This is 2 European icons who have reshaped the league. Both Luka and Jokic enter the NBA as foreign prospects with doubts, questions about their athleticism, ability to compete, and whether their European dominance would translate to the NBA. Now, they are 2 of the most unstoppable players in the world, and Jokic sees something special in Luka, something that sets him apart even from other greats. When Jokic first spoke about Luka's ability to thrive under pressure, he acknowledged the reality of the NBA. This is a business where nothing is guaranteed. But Luka is built for the moment.
It's a business, I don't know. I think nobody expected, especially not him. I think nobody's safe in the league, seems like. But I think he's going to do a good job, I think he's the player for the...
That phrase, a player for the big scene, isn't just a compliment. It's an acknowledgement. Luka Dončić isn't just great. He rises to the occasion when it matters most. Think about it. How many players can dominate the playoffs at age 21? How many can go toe-to-toe with superstars and never blink? How many truly embrace the spotlight instead of shrinking under it? Luka does. Jokic knows that when the lights get brighter, some players fade. Luka, he shines. But Jokic didn't stop there. In another interview, he doubled down on just how special Luka is, calling him a once-in-a-lifetime type of player.
Opinion, of course, maybe. I think Luka is a generational player, generational talent. Luka, I'm not saying that it is not. I'm just saying I think Luka is somebody that did we see somebody like him before who is affecting the game in so many levels, so many possessions.
That's coming from a two-time MVP, a player who knows exactly what it means to dominate at the highest level, and is saying Luka is different. He's not just a scorer, he's a playmaker. He's not just a passer, he's a leader. He's not just a competitor, he's a generational force. When Jokic calls Luka a once-in-a-lifetime player, he's putting him in the same conversation as the greatest to ever do it. Because players like Luka, they don't come around often. And it's not just MVPs who recognize his greatness. Austin Reeves, one of the NBA's most confident rising stars, has battled against elite competition. He's faced the best. But when it comes to Luka Dončić, his message is crystal clear. You'd much rather have him on your team than play against him. Like you said, he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best. That's the ultimate sign of respect.
You said he's, one of the best players in the world, if not the best player. So to have him on your team is much better than playing against him.
Luka isn't just great. He's the kind of player who makes your life miserable if you're on the other side. Austin Reeves has been on both ends of the Luka experience, trying to stop him as an opponent one night and playing alongside him the next. And he knows exactly how frustrating it is to try and contain him. You can't speed him up. He plays at his pace. You can't push him off his spot. He's stronger than he looks. You can't disrupt him. His court vision is unmatched. Double him, you'll pay for it. Try to take away his step back, he'll find another way. That's the difference between great and elite. Luka doesn't just beat you. He beats you his way every single time. But as much as Reeves respects Luka's game as an opponent, he knows that playing with him changes everything. Move without the ball, Luka will find you. Run the floor, Luka will reward you. Space the floor, Luka will create open shots for you. Reeves understands that playing alongside a true basketball genius means the game comes to you. And for a young rising star, there's no better player to learn from than Luka. And Kevin Durant, one of the most unstoppable scorers in NBA history, sees it too. When KD talks about your offensive game, you know you reach a different level of respect. And when it comes to Luka Dončić, Durant isn't just impressed. He's acknowledging Luka's evolution into an offensive juggernaut.
I feel like when he first came to the league, he was more threes and layups, and I think he's expanding his game and scoring all over the floor, inside the three-point line, inside the paint. And his range is deep too from the three. So, I think he's made himself a complete player offensively where you can't limit him to anything. You can't force him anyway. He can do anything.
He makes defenders uncomfortable. You can't take away a specific part of his game because Luka has mastered all of it. Durant knows what it takes to be an elite, unguardable scorer. He's seen defenses throw everything at him, traps, double teams, switching schemes, and still find ways to dominate. And now, he sees that same inevitability in Luka. When KD says Luka is now unstoppable, that he'll become a complete offensive player, that defenses can't limit him anymore, that's one of the highest honors an elite scorer can receive. Because when one of the greatest scorers of all time puts you in that category, you've officially arrived. Gilbert Arenas knows what it takes to be an elite offensive weapon. As a former NBA star and three-time All-Star, he built his career on scoring, creativity, and dissecting defenses at a high level. But when it comes to Luka Dončić, Arenas sees something even more special.